Well, good morning, everyone. It's the second week of February of 2026. I'm here again in Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County. And today I'll be doing something I've been doing for the past 5 years. Launching my drone, looking at the manatees that are gathered here near the electric power plant in Riviera Beach. It's not that cold today. Last week was very cold. We're a little bit below freezing. In fact, in some places we're actually colder than Alaska here in South Florida. This morning when I got up, it was in the 40s. Now it has warmed up to about 59. So its temperature is rising quickly. And that's why I was able to take off my gloves. And I can handle 59. So without further ado, let's get the drone ready and let's go fly. So now that I'm back here today, I've used a air control app and I can see that we're good to fly. So I've checked everything and now we're ready to go. So starting up the drone. Start recording and let's launch. There we go. So this far north, I'm not within the controlled airspace of the Palm Beach International Airport. There we can see a manatee right there. So because I'm not in the area controlled by the Palm Beach International Airport, I can go as high as 400 feet. That's how high I'm allowed to fly to by law. And so approaching the power plant. And if you've been watching this channel for the 5 years I've been doing this, then you definitely know why I'm flying like this. Here we can see the power plant here in Riviera Beach. And we can see all the manatees that are gathered. And it's a very big crowd this year. It's a very big crowd this year. A lot of manatees. And I'm really not surprised. I'm not surprised because this year has been unusually cold here in Florida. Unusually cold. As I mentioned earlier, there were times when it was actually colder than Alaska. So all these manatees, they're benefiting from the warm water that's coming out of the power plant because the power plant uses seawater to cool the turbines. And then once the water that is used to cool the turbines extracts all that heat, then it pushes that water out into the intercoastal. And then the manatees have learned to gather here to just benefit from the warmth of the water that's coming from inside the turbines on the power plant. And it's just around, what time is it? Let me check the time real quick. It's just about 8:40 in the morning. The sun is coming up, but if the air is 50 something degrees, then the water is going to be much colder. And so these manatees, they definitely have to stay here to keep their bodies warm. And a warmer body means that the immune system works much better. And definitely that's what they would want. Let me just go down and get a better look. Let me just step back a bit. See if I can get a better signal. Unfortunately, what's happening is that I normally walk out near to the dock, but they're doing some construction work right now. The sign says, danger, do not enter, so I'm not even gonna try to go out there. So here I am, I'm back. Wow. Can you count how many manatees are here? Wow. That's a lot. And one of the reasons why it has been such a good idea for me to come and check the amount of manatees here each year is that alarms are being raised about the manatee population declining, accidents of boats with manatees. And you know, manatees and wild animals in general, they're not like human beings whereby they say, okay, I'm going to rent this apartment and I'm going to hang around for a few years. No, animals in the wild, they're going to move according to where they can find food. So if in a specific year, like 2020 when I started doing this, if they decide that, you know what, this year we're going to go somewhere else, apparently there's more food here, then that's what they're going to do. And if you're tuning into my channel for the first time and you're not sure of how the manatees normally operate, usually they hang around northern Florida, southern Georgia. There are some who are resident in Florida. They stay here all year round, but a lot of them, they will travel north during the summer when it gets very hot here in South Florida. And then come winter, they'll head back south to warmer waters. But their movements are going to be determined by what they think is in their best interest as far as food is concerned. And right now, being early morning, they're going to just enjoy this warm water coming from the power plant. And then I imagine that as the water gets warmer, as we get to like midday, where the sun is going to heat up the water and it's going to get warmer, that's when they're going to start going out to search for food. Manatees are very thick, but they have a lot of muscle below that. So sometimes they can swim very fast, but most times they just move at a leisurely pace, I guess, to conserve energy. But even though they have thick bodies with some fat to keep them warm, they don't want to overwork their system. So obviously they're going to look for warmer conditions so that they can have a better chance of survival. So that's it. The manatees are here and they're enjoying their stay here this winter. A lot of alarms were being raised about the manatee population, as I mentioned earlier. And I think with any scientific study, it's good to have several values that you can use to calculate any event, any occurrence. Because if I had gone by what had happened in a specific year when I saw almost no manatees, then obviously, it would have been reason to be in panic mode. But in order to do any useful measurement when you're doing scientific studies, you have to measure over a period of time. And I can say that over the 5 years I've been coming here now, I haven't seen anything that would cause any major cause for concern. Obviously, we don't want to kill off our manatees by boating carelessly, but at the same time, we can see very healthy numbers here, and we definitely know that the manatee population is not at risk. This is just one location. They're all over Florida, and there's some even further south in Miami and the Keys. So I would say the manatee population is doing quite well. So now that we've seen what the manatees are doing, let's move across. The reason why I've come over here is that I want to see that with the water this cold, how are the sharks doing? Because I know sometimes the sharks will gather here. So yes, there are sharks hanging around. So we've seen manatees, we've seen sharks. Now it's time to come back home.